Hi Libra, my name is Darlene Dodson, and this is your destiny of truth for March of 2021. Now, on the 3rd, we have a sextile, and I have talked about the sextiles in the past. This is an energy that you have to use, okay, or it will slip by, and you'll have wasted a good energy to help the changes come. Now, for you on the 3rd, Venus is in Pisces, and you are emotionally connected with something that has to do with your health or in your work life. And because of this, it's bringing changes in your stability, and it could be other people's money. It could be your intimate relationships or your desires. There's changes that are happening there that'll make you feel more stable if you get financially yourself financially together, or if you're able to get your desires to a point where they make you feel stable. And I think that has to do with your work life, because you're emotionally connected to your work. You love what you're doing, and because of that, the changes are going to come that make you feel more secure in those intimate relationships. Then we have Mars in the 9th house in Gemini on the 3rd. And why it's here in Gemini, you're going to be dealing with your day-to-day, directions and your day-to-day life, and how you communicate with others. And it's in your 9th house, so it's your philosophies. You got 2 different paths, and you're not sure of which path that you really want to take, whether that be in traveling or media, broadcasting, philosophies, your higher mind, or just a new ideal, that maybe, you got this ideal and you don't know what direction to take. Then on the 4th, okay, we have Mercury in Aquarius in your 5th house, and that's also conjuncting Jupiter in Aquarius in your 5th house. Now, 5th house is all about children, your creative endeavors, and your dating life. And you are expanding your communications about your hopes and your dreams and your friendship, within your friendships, about these areas of your life, about kids, about what you want from your dating life, or if you're dating, or if you're starting a creative endeavor and you have this vision, you're going to talk to them about that. Now, on the 10th, we have the Sun in Pisces conjuncting Neptune in Pisces in your 6th house. And you're shining your light at work, okay? But it's Neptune. And Neptune can either disillusion us or he can make us more creative. And if you are shining your light in a creative way at work that, just brings out the best emotions in you, then you're working with the energy in a great way. You're using, your higher mind. You feel spiritually connected to the work that you're doing. But it could also be shining the light to show you that you've been disillusioned about the work that you're doing too, which is making you emotional. Okay. And it could also shine a light on your health if you're not doing things in a healthy manner. Could be that way too. Then on the 13th, we've got Venus in Pisces, and that's conjunct Neptune in Pisces, again in the 6th house. And when it's Neptune and, Venus, you love your job, okay? You love the creativity that you're seeing. Or, you can see how your love of your job has made you very disillusioned about it and the direction. So it's going to be one way or the other, but I think that with the new moon happening in Pisces also in that 6th house, it's showing you a new creative way to be, because that Venus-Neptune conjunction's happening. And I think that you do love that creative side of you. Then on the 15th, we have Mercury entering Pisces in your 6th house. And you are going to be communicating emotionally with those that you work with, or about your health. Okay. You're going to start, thinking about your own health and what you need to do to change it. Then on the 16th, we've got the Sun in Pisces in the 6th house, sextiling Pluto in Capricorn in the 4th house. And again, it's a sextile. But you're shining your light at work, okay? And because of it, your family is going through a lot of transformations. Or you could be shining your light with your health, okay? Your physical health. And because of it, a lot of changes are happening in the home. Maybe there's better choices of food being brought in, into the home. Then on the 18th, we have Venus in Pisces in the 6th house, sextiling Pluto in Capricorn in the 4th house. And you love the changes that you're making at work or in your health. And you know that because of it, it is transforming, the foundation that you build your life on. Then on the 20th, we have the Sun in Aries. Happy spring equinox for those of you that live in the northern hemisphere. And that will be your 7th house partnerships. Now, you're going to be shining your light in your partnerships over the next month. Okay, you're going to do it. Okay, see, this is an oxymoron because it's in Aries. And while it's a new beginning in partnerships, Aries are all also about self. So I see you doing this in a way that is healthy for your ego, okay, within these partnerships, because the next day Venus enters Aries in your partnership sector. And again, you love the changes that you're making in your partnership. And you're doing this in a way that you're just taking action. Okay, and you'll ask questions later, but right now you're just taking the actions that you love, to do what you need to do within a partnership. Then on the 21st, we have Mercury in Pisces in the 6th house, sextiling Uranus in Taurus in the 8th house. Again, Uranus in Taurus, you're making those changes within your intimate relationships to make you more stable in your life. You're making the changes that you need to make that wasn't exactly what you desired them to be, because now, you're going to make your desires happen. And you were very emotional about how this and how you're going to either change your work life or be more healthy. Okay. Then on the 21st, we have got Mars in Gemini in the 9th house, trining Saturn in Aquarius in the 5th house. Now, a trine is an energy that happens without you doing anything, okay? But it's Saturn, and Saturn restricts what he touches, and you can overcome Saturn restricting you in your creative endeavors, in your dating life, or with your children. If you take the actions with your philosophies, okay? Yes, you've got 2 roads you can travel down with, traveling with broadcasting, media, journalism, higher education, okay? And you've got both of these directions, but the only one who can really choose the direction and also a new ideal, okay? That you got 2 different ways to go with this ideal that you can be creative with, but you've been being restricted by Saturn because you don't know what you want, okay? Then on the 23rd, we've got Mercury in Pisces in the 6th house, squaring Mars in Gemini in your 9th house. Well, what you're saying and your actions aren't matching on this day. You're speaking emotionally at your job or about your health, okay? But the actions that you're taking because you're not sure of what direction you want to go with your philosophies, your ideal, your education, broadcasting, media, publishing. This is what's challenging you. You've got to get your thoughts and your actions on the same page. Then on the 25th or 26th, we've got the Sun conjunct Venus, okay, in Aries in your 7th house. And you are just shining your light on your partnerships. Plain and simple. You love the people around you. You're taking action with showing them how you feel and what you want in life. And that's all good. Then on the 28th, we have the full moon in Libra in your sign. That is your 1st house. There's an ending happening here. And I want to say this, Libra, you know that you have a problem with boundaries. When you love somebody or want somebody to like you, you do what they want you to do to stay in their good graces. Well, the new moon and full moon, both of these signs have issues with boundaries. And you're ending this month. You're loving yourself first, okay? You're overcoming this behavior. Yes, there's an ending in your life, but this ending is bringing a new beginning because you're consciously aware of a pattern of behavior that you've been portraying, okay? That you've been putting out there, and you're not going to let these boundaries be crossed anymore. Then on the 29th, we have Mercury, and that is conjunct Neptune in Pisces in your 6th house. And you are, thinking about emotional matters at work, or you're talking about something that makes you emotional at work or in health. You have become disillusioned in a matter here with it, okay? And that's because an ending has to happen. And that's plain and simple. If you're doing things in a creative way, then it's going to be good. But if you've become disillusioned with what you're doing, then you're going to see where those changes have to happen. Because on the 30th, you've got Venus in Aries in your 7th house, sextiling Saturn in Aquarius in your 5th house. And where you have felt restricted in your dating life or with children or in your creativity, okay, you're going to be able to move forward in a way that you love with partnerships now, okay, in this area of life. Because on the 31st, we've also have the Sun in Aries in the 7th house, sextiling Saturn in Aquarius in the 5th house. And again, Saturn restricts, and he's been restricting your dating life. He's been restricting your creative endeavors and, having children. And, you're shining your light on your partnerships now, which is going to help you overcome these issues because you're putting your energy into the partnership, into the area where you have felt restricted. But again, back to this new moon and full moon, both of them have to do with boundaries. And you're learning that you have to keep those boundaries in your work life and in your partnerships and, move forward with the ideals that you have because you're very creative, okay? But you have to find the new ideals. This is why Saturn has been holding you back in that area of life, because he wants you to transform your foundation, your home, and where you build your life, okay? Because that's where you're going to find your security, okay? And yeah, you're going to find it also with your health and in your work life. But once you start to build that foundation in a way that you want, everything else is going to transform for you. You just have to figure out which route that you want to take. Now, I am using the Cat Tarot for the month of March. So let's shuffle. Okay, it's about your money. Okay, we drew the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles, it's pretty much saying that you're taking charge, okay, of your financial situation. You you know what you want, and you know that there's hard work ahead of you that you have to do, but you're going to have to do the work in order to get you where you are. Now, the only thing I will say again, you've got to decide which direction you want to go in your day to day life, okay, with that work, endeavor or that health endeavor. But you know that you've been putting in the work, um, you know, and it's time for you to build that foundation there that you want. And just to show you, there is the kitty cat. That's the King of Pentacles. So, Libra, that is your March. And all I can say is I hope you have a blessed March. I love you, and I'll see you in April. Have a good one. Bye.